I suppose we should be live now. All right. So, Chirag, as you mentioned that you are facing a few issues, can you please readdress those things? What are the two things you mentioned?
I cannot focus, and whenever I was taking some taste at that time, I had problem pertinent to like I have no idea how to find answer.
Okay. And one more thing you mentioned is you're not able to control your mind.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with that
Uh,
aspect because this is something that I already
Good evening,
discussed in the
sir.
past with many of my students.
Hello,
See,
sir. How are
trying
you?
to control your brain or trying to control your mind is absolutely useless because you cannot control it. Nobody in this world can 100% control their mind 100% of the time. Even monks find it challenging. I'm talking about the Buddhist monks and those people who are known for doing these things very well. Still, they find it challenging many of the times. And if I give you a simple instance of this, if you watch an elephant and a person riding that elephant, who is actually controlling that elephant? Do you think that the person sitting on top is controlling?
No, sir.
Isn't that person is not controlling? They are just guiding the elephant. They have trained the elephant that when this instruction is given, this is what the elephant is supposed to do. And if the elephant wants, it can at any given point literally throw that person 50 feet away. But it doesn't because the person who is sitting on the top has taken care of it. And this same anecdote can be used in your mind's perspective as well. So do not try to control your mind, instead, try to guide it, habituate it, give it practice of focusing, allow it to go through difficult situations, and eventually it will know what to do. So instead of controlling, I'll say this once again, try to guide it, try to tell it
Okay.
what to do. This is something that we do in the speaking part as well. If I ask you to randomly speak on anything, you won't be able to speak for long. Even if you do, you are randomly jumping from one topic to another. There is no
Okay.
coherence in your answer. This is what happens when you speak without thinking. But when I give you a format, for instance, if I tell you that follow this particular structure, answer this question first and then say this, then say that, explanation, reason, example, this is something that we have heard in the past. So if I give you this instruction, your brain knows what to do first, your brain knows what to do second, and once your brain is stuck, you'll know exactly what to do after that. So you can continue speaking. The same thing applies for writing. We know that right after an introduction, we are supposed to start the body paragraph. So we are just guiding our mind that this is the next step. Correct? And when it comes to focus, that was your second question. So focus is something that can be improved. It's not something that we are born with. We all need to improve our focus. We need to practice focusing. I mentioned this example in the past. A person whom you find angry all the time is someone who practices anger. A person who practices, or a person who seems, just a second, a person whom you see that they're always peaceful, they're always calm, that means they're practicing being calm. A good communicator practices good communication skills, they practice good habits. So just like that, if you want to improve your focus, you need to practice meditation and learn to focus. Got the perspective?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
So what you
But sir,
focus on.
also I
Mhm.
but also sir, last 2 months I am finding my way to how can I solve this problem. Like
Uh,
I have an hesitation. Like I give 2 time exam, and right now how can I solve this and it is.
The last time we had our Q&A session was somewhere in October, and after 2 months we are connecting right now. So I want to know exactly what you did in the past 2 months, with whom you connected, and what was your practice regime or routine that you followed. Because what I'm noticing is there were certain fillers that were not that visible, not audible, but right now you're using certain fillers. Your grip on the language is slightly reducing as compared to the last time. So what did you do since the last time?
Like, sir, I feel like I cannot, I do not give up, but whenever I do practice, at the time I have an hesitation.
But you're practicing with people who already have fillers, and
No,
you
sir,
picked up.
I practice alone,
But you are surrounded
and
by someone who uses the word like a lot because you started using like. Initially, it was not this dominant in your speech.
yeah,
And I'm noticing some grammatical inaccuracies. But just make sure that you revise your grammatical part and practice with people who can speak better than you can and people who do not have fillers.
okay, sir.
Got it? So this is something that you need to focus on. Okay, if you are
Hello,
trying
sir.
to say something, go ahead.
Yes. Hello,
You are
sir.
not audible, my
Like,
dear. Hold on. You're not audible.
now am I audible, sir?
Nope. Try to disconnect your microphone and try to reconnect.
Oh, hello.
Mm, Still,
Am
it's
I
the same
audible, sir?
thing.
Now.
You're audible, but it is just like 10% of the volume. Is it just me or
Okay.
everybody is feeling the same? Should
Now,
I
sir.
can you
Now.
confirm? Now it's better, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Sir. On 20th December, my exam will be on 20th December.
This
So,
month, yeah.
sir, nowadays I'm doing two tests in a day for practicing. So, sir, like in addition to this, what should I do?
Okay.
Like which can make my exam better? Like which will be more appropriate for me?
Say if you are looking for a magic potion or a jaddi booty, I won't be able to provide it, but I can definitely tell you some things that can help you to become in to get indulged into this language. That is, of course, reading as much as possible. All these days, once you are done practicing, so you mentioned 2 tests a day. I hope that you are also finishing
Yes.
the justification of both those tests. You're not just randomly taking tests and moving on. Are you finishing the
Yes, sir. I'm
justification?
doing justification as well. Yes, sir.
Okay. And what
I'm
about
doing
your writing
justification as
tasks?
well. As
Who
you,
is checking it?
sir, I'm my writing, my I checked my my writing task is checking my friend. His name is Padamveer. So
So
whenever
is
I
he
want to
a
check my
professional?
writing, no, no, sir, he's not a professional, but he has some knowledge. And in addition to this, sir, sometime I put my essay on Chat GPT,
Mm-hmm.
and I take a like feedback from uh,
Chat
Chat
GPT.
GPT.
Okay.
Yes,
Again, your
sir.
volume is gone. Once it is fixed, we can continue talking. Try to do that same thing again, the same thing you did in the past.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now it's audible. So try to always remember this thing. ChatGPT is great at correcting grammar, but ChatGPT has no idea about the format of IELTS. Always remember this thing.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Format is something that we have already covered in the past. All the question types, you know exactly how to write, paraphrasing, and all those things. So do those things right and then ask ChatGPT to correct your grammar. That's it.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Got
So
it,
that
sir.
is one thing you need to focus.
Okay, sir.
Second thing is,
So, sir, like last time I shared my result with you, sir. So I got overall 6 band.
hmm,
I got 5.5 in reading only,
hmm,
and the rest of my modules were correct. So, sir, in these days, should I focus on only on reading module, or another module also have a same significance?
what I would recommend is at least take one full mock test every single day, and that too in the exact exam format. However,
Yes, sir.
when it comes to the reading module, I want you to read something that you actually like because the last time we connected, I asked you to start reading something that you want to read. And you just told me that you'll start reading after you finish the test. But actually what you need to do is you need to start reading as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
All right. So before the test, try to finish 50 pages a day. And not just for the
50
sake of
pages a day.
finishing, learn the words. And if you don't think that reading a random book would help you, I would recommend reading Cambridge volumes, the ones that you already solved in the past. So read those volumes, not for the sake of solving, but only for one intention, that is reading and understanding the
Improve
vocabulary.
understanding. Yes, sir.
Correct? So underline the words and write down the meaning on top of it. And after 2 days, revise the whole books that you finished, the chapters and everything that you finish, and read the same thing again. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So get
I
well
will.
versed with
I will
vocabulary.
start to do this.
Mm. Another thing is you already know about this website. Okay, let me reshare my screen.
Sir, when I went for the examination last time, so sir, I was like lagging a lot, and I had a lack of confidence at that time,
Mm,
and I was hesitating in front of the examiner and during the examination,
mm,
like while WLR. But sir, now when I started practicing seriously, so sir, I'm getting a positive vibe. So sir, should I take it as a positive way, or sir, should I take a seriousness for the examination, which can make me motivate every time to do more study?
Can you do both of them? Be serious and take it in a positive way. Because you need to be serious. You cannot take it lightly. And the second thing is, if you take it negatively, it will only have adverse effects, bad effects.
Okay, sir.
Got it? So of course, hesitation is something that will eventually fade. This is not something we can eradicate immediately. All right, it will
Yes,
fade.
sir.
You will feel more and more confident the more you practice. But the only thing is, make sure that you practice on a daily basis.
Yes, sir.
Right? I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Sir, is it a vocabulary
.com.
website?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
vocabulary.com. And
it's a
the
really nice one.
what I did is all these words, 80% of them are from the Cambridge volumes.
Okay.
So all you have to do is memorize these words, at least go through them 2 or 3 times. Don't try to memorize everything. Just go through them twice or thrice and just get to know
Sir,
them.
yes, sir. Sir, in this like in this website, there is one option is spelling bee. Like we can play a game, and while playing a game, we can learn spelling.
But this is not for becoming a wordsmith. It is for this list. We have an entire separate list for commonly misspelled words. If you don't have this link, drop me a text. I'll send it to you. So if you access
No, no, sir.
this
I have.
section, you
You
should
sent me.
select spelling bee.
Yes, sir.
All right. And for the other one, you should select practice. For becoming a
Yes, sir.
wordsmith, you should always select practice. All right.
Yes.
So this one resource is sufficient for your reading module. This will teach you a lot of words that you will be encountering in your reading modules. Right?
Sir, I want to know, sir, like you used to be like do video editing on a professional way,
Yes, I
and sir,
used
where
to.
you learn video editing, sir, you learn by yourself and you purchased any course.
Okay, I never paid for courses when it comes to video editing, but yes, I've spent a lot of money to improve communication skills, but not for video editing because tutorials are available online. We don't need a person to tell us what to do. We just need to let our creativity kick in, and YouTube channels will tell you how to do it. That's it. You should know what you want to do. Got it? Tools are available everywhere, and I would recommend software like Premiere Pro for a video editing, not Filmora. Filmora is good for
Okay, okay,
beginners.
Adobe Premium Pro.
Adobe Premiere Pro, yes. Just drop
Yep.
me a DM. I'll send you all the files and everything, resources.
So, sir, I also used to do cybersecurity course. So, sir, like my sir, who taught me cybersecurity, so he told about this software, Adobe Premium Pro.
Hmm. So, are you into cybersecurity or video editing? Because these two things are completely different.
Yes, sir. Both things are different, sir. But like, sir, I want to learn the video editing for making my YouTube content. Like,
Hmm.
I want to learn good editing for make my own video good.
These are a few software that I would recommend. So, first one is, of course, Adobe Premiere Pro. Make sure that you use the Pro version. I'll send you the file. The second thing you need to learn is editing audios. So, Adobe Audition. This will allow you to engineer your sound in a way that you want. So, you'll have complete control over the audio. And if you want animations and stuff for your logos, if you are promoting yourself, you need to learn Adobe After Effects. These are the three software that I recommend. Sorry. So tutorials are available. You just need to go through them. That's it.
Yes, sir.
So audio, video, and animation. All three things are done. Photoshop will help you. Yes, if you are having photos and stuff. If you know Photoshop, that would be an advantage.
Yes, yes.
Right. Let's not deviate from the main topic. Let's stick back to IELTS. Nikki, do you have any questions for us?
Sir,
Mm-hmm. Yes, Shira.
So how to
Okay, Nikki, continue.
so speaking cue card,
Mm-hmm. Cue card.
how to maintain the 2 minutes.
How to maintain the flow in a cue card. Okay, let's address that. And Chirag, what's your question?
sir, my question is how can we connected our thoughts in writing task two, and also how can we improve our task one sentence formation?
So sentence formation for both and being relevant in task two.
Or yeah, how can we connect our whole task two?
Okay, let's start with maintaining a flow in speaking. Okay, we'll specifically address cue cards. So this is how a cue card looks. So you'll have a premise, which will say something like describe a moment when you taught someone something. And then you'll be given the WH questions. So WH questions would look something like what did you teach? Whom did you teach? How was the learning experience? And how did the person feel after learning it? So if you notice, there is a pattern that IDP always follows. So you can find the same pattern in different cue cards that are available online. So they will always have WH questions, and at the last they will have one or two how questions. How do you feel? So feeling plays a very important role in the IELTS cue cards. When it comes to answering these questions, if you are someone who is unable to speak for 2 minutes, they should use a general statement in the beginning so that they can last for at least 2 minutes. So are you someone who can last for 2 minutes continuously while speaking?
So
No. So then you should use a general statement. General statement is something that relates to or resonates with the question. Describe a moment when someone taught something. So a general statement would be something like, I believe that teachers play a crucial role in our lives. I have always admired my teachers because I know how difficult it is to teach in general, which not only helps students to learn different concepts but also helps them improve their overall life. So this is a general statement. This is something related to topic. Then you can start a statement by saying the actual answer. Here I'd like to talk about a time when I taught my nephew video editing skills. Did you get it? How I developed the whole thing?
yes,
So what you need to understand is if you want to just get 5 to 10 seconds of extra time, so if you want to say something that is relevant to the topic but you're not even starting the question, you can use a general statement. This is not recommended, but this is like a last resource that you can use. Right, if you're not able to speak for continuously 2 minutes, you can use this as a resource. The examiner will know that and they will still let you go because they want you to speak for 2 minutes. All right, so this is the first thing. However, for students who can speak easily for 2 minutes, they should start from here. Directly answer the question, directly jump into the question. You can also say, well, I'd like to share about a time when I taught my nephew video editing skills. You can start like this. Correct. So what you need to do is, preparation is the key. This is what you need to remember. If you utilize those 60 seconds that you receive from the examiner, then you will at least have some context. You'll at least have something to share. So for every bullet point, these are our bullet points, you should have at least two keywords, and do not write whole sentences, just the keywords. So Nikki, I want you to select, what did you teach? This was my context, you can change the whole perspective. So what did you teach? Pick one.
The second one,
Hmm?
directly. Second one,
Okay, second one as in,
this.
I'm talking
I'm
about the
here
the
only.
bullet points. I want you to answer this question. What did you teach and whom did you teach? These two things, answer me.
Okay. Here I would like to talk about a time when I taught my younger brother how to do how to use advanced features in mobile phone.
Okay, so hold on.
That's it.
So younger brother and advanced features. I'll just write mobile. Anything specifically that you taught your younger brother?
Mm, using ChatGPT.
Chat GPT. Okay, so you just write chat GPT. Anything else? You can talk about basic photography, videography,
Hmm.
simple things. So,
Okay. Audio visual.
so this is extra content. Hmm? How was the learning experience? Was your younger brother able to learn and grasp the things easily, or was it a bit challenging?
He grasped it easily.
I'll give you two scenarios.
Hmm.
So, if you say that it was easy, that means you directly picked this and he learned it. This is what we needed. But if you say that it was a bit challenging in the beginning, then you can
Hmm.
talk about the story. You can elaborate the story, and then you can finally come to the part where the person found it easy. So you'll get an extra layer of content. Initially, it was a hard nut for my younger brother to crack. Initially, it was a daunting task. You can start using idioms over there.
Yes.
Correct? And then when he practiced, so you can take the part of practice. So after hours and hours of practice, he had to learn these things because he was just a kid, but he was curious about learning these things, especially ChatGPT. So after practicing, after trying a lot of prompts, after capturing different photos and videos, he was able to get better and better. So you had this small piece of content which will give you extra 10 or 15 more seconds of content. All right. Then go to
Yes.
the part where you share the experience. So initially hard and then easy. So I'll just write hard and easy. And the last one is, how did the first person feel after learning it?
Mm. He was happy.
Don't use simple words. Try better words.
Elated. He
Mm-hmm.
was elated. Uh, was on cloud nine. Yeah. Idiom also can be used.
You can use this phrase. He felt as if he were. So
You
he
were.
plus were. We usually use he plus was.
Yeah.
When
But
do we
his
use he plus were or
hypothetical.
subject plus were? You can also say I were. But when do we use this?
Hypothetical.
Perfect. Hypothetical situations. I think you already attended a couple of sessions in the past. It's been a long time since we connected.
Yes, so
Yeah.
one and a
So
half months.
perfect. So yes, you can say he felt as if he were on cloud nine. Seventh heaven cloud nine. Stick to one. Pick a good one. Stick with it. And you can change this to I felt as if I were. So this is contextual. This is not something that is concrete. You can change and play around with it. So if you notice, if I remove all the fuss from here, can you manage to write these things in 60 seconds? Just these things. You don't have to write the whole sentences. You don't have to add
Okay.
commas. You don't have to add hyphens or
Mhm.
anything. But can you just write these things?
Yes, so.
One thing that you need to ensure is these things should be written in big letters. The reason being, you are allowed to check your preparation notes or your notes or the notes that you have prepared, but you're not supposed to take pauses. You're not supposed to break the flow. You're supposed to read your notes and simultaneously discuss the whole thing with the examiner. And you should practice in it this way. This will give you a much better flow. What students mostly do is they just try to memorize the whole 1 minute preparation part and then they try to bluff it out. And that doesn't work all the time. There are some kids who do it well, but others they can't manage it. Alright, so make it a habit to write in big letters, utilize the whole page. You will either be given a paper, A4 size paper, or you'll be given a diary. Either way, after the speaking test is done, after the cue card is done, they will take it back. And they will ask you not to write anything on the question paper, but you're free to write anything that you want on the preparation note. Is this clear?
So,
Let's try this cue card. Nikki, give it a shot. Try to say anything. I'll start a timer over here.
okay.
And once you're done, Chirag, give it a shot.
Already we created this bullet point, so can I go with that or should I try something else?
So you want to use a different bullet point or something like that?
Yeah, I'm asking. Should I go with this bullet
Try to
points
go with
or
this one. So I want to
preparing?
see how you use it.
Okay.
Right? So you have 2 minutes
Um,
of timer. Take 5 seconds for yourself. Read these keywords, and once you're done, just start. I'll start the timer accordingly. Or once you're ready, just
okay.
let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And after this, Chirag, and after Chirag, Kaif. And don't worry about your errors. That's completely fine. And when she speaks, when Nikki speaks, try to observe and try to take notes if possible. So the next time when you speak, you will at least have a good context.
We have to talk about this topic.
Yes,
Matlab,
this is your
uh,
cue card,
okay, okay, sir.
and these are your
I am ready.
keywords. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All the best.
Well, here I would like to talk about a time when my younger brother he wanted to learn a stringent thing that was about using ChatGPT. He last week he came to me because he was having trouble. Like he was assigned a project by his tutor. So he wanted to get help of ChatGPT. And he is in seventh standard. Even at first, I also felt a daunting task for me because uh, teaching your younger brother at their level, it can be a little bit hard task, but I tried my best. First of all, I made him realize how it works, and even also explain the advantages of using this tool as well as the disadvantage. But I found that he was not able to grasp. He was struggling to inculcate those things or process. So I took uh, I took an help of YouTube where I got an idea that I can show him visual aids. So by showing those videos, how it works, how ChatGPT we can insert directly ask with photos, pictures also, if every minute details like whichever at his level are required. I tried to make him understand, and however I was explaining, he was able to grasp it because it was visual. So and, by the time he practiced hard, like literally he burned his midnight oil to learn that, because he wanted to complete that assignment as early as possible and wanted to um, get a
That's it.
applause from his teacher.
Thank you so much for speaking. You need to be a little bit more conscious about the time, because you were able to see the timer during the examination. The timer won't be visible. This is a practice session, so it's completely fine. But while you had 30 more seconds, you should have started answering the next part of the question. But only
Yes.
you started that only in the last 15 seconds or so, right? So this is something that I've shared to every single student, that you should practice cue cards with a timer not in front of you. Just start a 2-minute timer and keep your phone upside down and start speaking. After practicing 15 to 20 cue cards, you should be able to speak cue cards, and you will know exactly when the timer is about to ring. And this is a realization that you should have. Consciousness of 2 minutes. This is a key skill to be able to not just adapt to different situations, because sometimes we might feel that we need to rush, and sometimes we feel that there is a lot of time, so let's proceed. So this will not only help with these things, but you'll also be able to elaborate more effectively. You'll be able to articulate your points, and the bullet points are something that are not mandatory, but try to at least cover all of them. It's not mandatory to cover every single bullet point. You're supposed to show your speaking skills. And I saw that you pushed all the idioms at the last, so you kind of choked the examiner.
Yes.
So don't do that. Spread it throughout the cue card. Then, Chirag, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
Mm.
Let me know once you're ready. Should I?
Okay, sir.
All the best.
Well, here I would like to talk about a person. Um, I thought, here I would like to talk about a person um, who is my younger brother, and I taught him to how to use ChatGPT, because we can because he had idea about the how to use mobile in different kinds of application like YouTube and Google, but he had no idea how to use ChatGPT. And also, he had a pressure about his assignment on his school. That's why I taught to use ChatGPT and help, because it helps to complete faster than another way. And also uh, I taught how to uh, take helps through chat gpt, like main bullet points and also another things. And also the one best thing was we can learn in ChatGPT to do m- make videography and photography. And after that he was very happy because he because he was very happy about his assignment to complete very fast than he was think. And he was
Okay, so that's it. That's your time.
mm,
You were able to continuously speak, but you stopped speaking in the last few seconds. That's all right. Keep practicing. Make sure that you continue speaking. Right. For both of you, I wrote a few errors that you made, but we'll address it at the last. So next is Cave. Whenever you're
Okay,
ready.
sir. Okay, sir. So if I talk about a moment when I taught someone to something, so I taught none another thing. That is my forte. I'm really good at two things. I do things simultaneously in my life, which is related to the sports field, which is arm wrestling and football as well as. So my one of my friend, his name is Yash Rai. He came to me, and he was the addicted of. He used to be addicted of smoking and alcohol, and he told me like he want to become a fit person as me, because whenever he saw me, so he got many inspiration from me while seeing my fitness. So he told me like he want to become a fit. So he firstly he asked me about his diet. So I suggested him to good amount to take a good amount of protein in his diet, because protein makes a muscle good. And uh, and then he told me nowadays it can be seen arm wrestling is growing rapidly. Every whenever we see on social media some while scrolling some reels, we can see some videos related to the arm wrestling. So that's why he came to me. He told me like I want to become a coach as well as I want to participate in arm wrestling. And yes, he used to play football, but he left playing football, and he told me like he want to learn football as well. So I taught him football, like the basics of football, like how to make his speed better as compared to the past, and how to maintain both things simultaneously. Football, because both are different in my perspective. So that's why we have to target both sports particularly. So because football has another type of workout, and in addition to this arm wrestling has another
Finish
workout,
that.
such as in arm you do pronation, supination. Hello.
Yeah, finish that part. Kev, try to finish that part. Your time is up, but finish that part.
Okay, so in arm wrestling we have to do pronation or supination. If someone like a top roll is a attacking movement which is done by the arm wrestler. So they have to uh, do a pronation exercise, which is really important for our forearm. So, and in addition to this, I told everything, because if I will going to tell, so it will be really long topic for you and me. So I told him about, like, first he should prioritize his diet, and like neglect some bad addiction from his life, such as smoking and in addition to alcohol, because these things can generate uh, like a good amount, bad amount of dopamine in our mind, which is permanent dopamine, which is really not good for our mind, and it can make our health bad further. So that's why after doing all these things, I told him like you can start your fitness journey from the scratch.
Now conclude it. I guess you're done, right?
Ye- Yes, sir. सर बोल तो बहुत सारा सकता हूँ, लेकिन सर वो बहुत टाइम हो जाएगा.
This is why I let you speak, because your time was already
जी
done. See, here's what you need to understand. You're only given a maximum limit of 2 minutes. The examiner will stop you once your timer is up. You won't be able to see the timer. The examiner is the only person who knows about the time. And once those 2 minutes, 120 seconds are done, they will stop you. So
जी
if
सर
you're able to fit good vocabs, good idioms, good sentence structure, complexity, grammar, and all those things before those 2 minutes, only then it would matter. Let's say
जी
you
सर
learn different grammatical skills, you learn a lot of words, idioms, and everything, but you keep everything at the last. And what if the time is up?
जी सर
You won't be able to say that. And even if you know these things, you won't be able to get scores for that.
yes
Well,
sir sir you mean if we have a weapon so we have to use that weapon in like
in the
uh,
first
like
2 minutes, in the time, given time, in the stipulated time.
yeah
Right? If you have a weapon and you're unable to use it, that means it's equal to not having a weapon.
yeah like we should not use weapon after completing
Exactly. We'll go in
yes
reverse.
sir
We'll
got it
start with cave because it's fresh for all of us. So use the word forte. Can you please explain that to all of us? Forte.
okay sir forte means if we are good at something like suppose I am a footballer. I am a Cristiano Ronaldo, and so Cristiano Ronaldo play really good football. So football is Cristiano Ronaldo forte
Cristiano
because he's really good.
Ronaldo's apostrophe S.
Yes, sir. So
Cristiano
he's
Ronaldo's
really good.
forte.
So our strength
Okay.
in which we are unbeatable.
Hmm. So the root word in this word is fort. Fort means killa. In Hindi we say killa. So killa is always strong. A castle is always considered to be strong. So that is how the word forte is derived. And to
Yes, sir.
fortify something means to make something strong, to strengthen something, or to make something robust. So forte is a good word.
Yes,
You can use it. A synonym for that would
yes,
be
sir.
robust.
Yes, sir.
But you
Robust
cannot
means
use it
strong.
in this context. You cannot say communication skills is my robust. That's not how it works. You can say that it's your forte. Playing football is my forte. Teaching others is my forte. Simplifying concepts is my forte.
Yes,
Correct?
sir.
So learn things contextually. That was a good one. So all three of you use this filler like. You need to be conscious about every single word that you utter. If you do not write it, that means you should not speak it. This is what you need to understand. Would we write this one? He told me like. No, we don't write it.
Yes,
We just say he told me this thing. He told me that thing. So this is how you need to speak. And like is a
yes,
filler word. And Kef, when 3 seconds, 4 seconds were pending, you said so that's why. That's a kind of a conclusion. But can we improve on that? Can you improve that part? Instead of saying so
hello.
that's why, can we say something better?
Yes, sir.
What can we say instead of so that's why?
Instead, instead of that, why, sir?
This whole phrase, try to replace it with something better. Just improvise on this one. Improve this one.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So how can we
Sir,
improve this?
instead of why, sir, can we use like that? That is the reason,
Of
or
course.
consequently?
What do you mean by consequently?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by consequently? You said consequently, right?
Yes, sir.
So what do you mean by consequently?
Consequently means, sir, as a result.
Perfect. So consequently means as a result. So if it is not used in the right context, it would be wrong because this means conclusion.
Yes, sir.
So I want
Sir,
synonyms for conclusions. You need to
can
conclude
we
your speech.
can we use thus instead of that? Why? Like thus.
Okay, so that's a single word. Thus is fine. Anything else? What about you, Nikki? What about you, Chirag? What's your perspective? How should we conclude? I think, Nikki, we had this conversation today.
Um, so, can we use all in all,
All in
but
all,
not here, I guess.
it's fine. All in all, they won't tell you why did you use all in all in your speech. That's okay. Anything else? I used the
Even
word
can say
repeatedly.
to recapitulate.
Yes, to
Yeah, to
recapitulate.
recapitulate. Yeah.
Hmm. Can you use an
Therefore,
idiom for conclusion? Therefore is fine. But can you use an idiom?
Um,
It was something about.
yes,
Hmm?
yes. There is an idiom.
It was something about making things
Sir,
hot and something happens after that. What happens when you heat water?
To boil.
No, you're not boiling things. It's used in a different way. It boils down to. This means
Oh,
this is the
okay.
conclusion. This is an idiom that you can use to show your conclusion. Got it? You can use simple phrases like to summarize everything that I just said. You can use phrases like this. That's okay. But instead of sticking to one conclusion, learn a better one and have at least one or two variations. Right? Don't try to memorize everything. It's not possible. You don't need to memorize every single variation, but you should have one or two variations of different context, different scenarios, different situations. You should not be always stuck with for example, for example, for example. You should be able to use for instance. You should be able to use for instance after saying something as an interrupter. You can use a prime example of this would be. If you know that your example is perfect, you can use the word. What is that, Nikki? Which word can we use for that? It starts
For
with an
which,
E.
sir?
It starts with an E for a perfect example.
Epitome of this.
Epitome.
Epitome.
So, an epitome of this would be. We discussed this today, right? So, an epitome of this would be. Alright. So, have different variations and look out for these things while reading, while listening to others. You guys might have this habit of listening to band 9 speaking cue cards, band 8 speaking cue cards. They are already using these ones. Listen to interviews, listen to podcasts. They will provide you much better content. They will provide you native content from native speakers. For instance, a native speaker would never say it's raining cats and dogs. But a non native speaker, when they try to
yes,
improve
sir.
their communication skills, they will end up using this. They will, a native speaker would simply say, it's pouring today. If it is a British accent, they will say in it. And if it is American, they would say ain't it.
Sir, uh, like in which factor I should improve in my like speaking, and which during
Which
my
aspect?
speaking,
I would recommend
and
you.
what in
Your voice is breaking. Hello?
yes, sir, your voice is also break.
Okay, what about now? Is
Hello.
it clear? Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes, sir. You are
Okay.
now you are audible.
So, okay, for you, what I would recommend is start using better content and start using better words at least. So, use vocabs, the ones that you're already learning, try to implement them. I know that you have memorized a lot of words,
Yes,
but they were not visible while you speak. Because when you speak, you are getting into the old habit of speaking. Learning
yes,
a
sir.
new word is building a new habit of using certain words. So, this new habit and that
Ye-
old habit are not in harmony. You're not using them simultaneously.
Yes,
So, with those old
yes,
habits
sir.
of being able to speak continuously, being able to speak for 2 minutes is one of your old habits. You have been doing it since the beginning. Now, what you need to do is
Yes, sir.
implement good words that you are currently learning into your old habits so you can speak better words. You can speak more articulately.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Avoid fillers, use more idioms. That's what I would say. Chirag, you
Yes, sir.
did something in the beginning, if you noticed. You said something for seven
Yes, sir.
seconds and
Because
then you restarted.
yes, sir.
Not your
Because
case.
sir, like last 6.5 bands in speaking, but I wanna like improve my score now.
Hmm.
I wanna like I wanna go with 6.5 to 7. No, this time.
Understood your perspective, but before we proceed, stop using wanna, gonna, lemme, gimme. These are all informal words. I'm not sure where you heard it,
Ji sir.
but those are considered
Yes.
informal, right? See, at a band 7, you need to start using idioms naturally. Even if it is partially wrong, that's okay, but try to use it as much as possible. So the more you use,
Yes
the
sir.
better you
Got it.
get. But during the examination, you just have to use one or two properly. Vocabs, it should
Yes
be
sir.
there everywhere. And learn idioms and vocabs as per the situation. So there are different contexts: happy, sad, depressed, confusion,
Yes.
conclusion, example. So learn idioms and vocabs accordingly. So when the situation arises, you should have a bunch of words in your brain that you should be able to
Yes
use
sir.
it at your will.
Like I memorized only few idioms such as when you are in room, do as the Roman. It is not your cup of tea,
Hmm,
and fit as a fiddle,
hmm,
and I am on cloud nine.
hmm.
Only 3 to 4 idiom I know.
Okay, just drop me a DM right now. I'll send you the whole list.
Yes sir.
Hmm. Chirag,
Yes, sir.
you restarted after 7 seconds. Did you notice that? Did you even realize that?
Yes, sir.
You might not have realized it, but it happened. You restarted the whole cue card after 7 seconds. So try not to do that and try not to self correct. That is something that you have been doing. Right? Next thing is a
Yes.
couple of grammatical errors. I'll share it personally. So you can just go through it. And even Cave and Nikki, I'll share your errors personally. So I addressed all the errors from Cave. Chirag, some of the grammatical errors you made, I'll send it personally. Stop using simple words like happy, sad. You said very happy. So instead of that, elated. I think Nikki said that word in the beginning. Elated. Elated means happy. And there are many other words. You already have the file, so you know what to look, where to look. Right?
We can use astonished also instead of happy.
What should we use?
Astonished, astonished,
Astonished means surprised.
surprised.
I was
Yes.
astonished by his presentation. I was surprised by his presentation. All right. Taken aback, astonished. These are all words used in a different context. Joyous, elated. You can start using idioms instead of using
Yes.
simple words like happy. Right? Mayur, you started off really well because you started with well and then you started the whole presentation, the whole answer. Presentation. I have this I built this habit of presentation. This is something that I find annoying in myself. I make this pronunciation error. All thanks to one of the staff members of a company that I recently visited. So he started using presentation. So I got this habit of saying presentation. It's presentation. Right? And Nikki, you said something like stringent things. I'm not sure what stringent thing is. Stringent means strict, and how can strict things be in that context? So what did you mean at that
Mm.
time?
I want to do intricate.
Huh,
Instead of that, I use strict.
complex. That's a
Intricate.
completely
Yeah.
different word. Anyway, you mentioned as well as the disadvantage. There are many, so as well as the disadvantage is plural.
Okay.
And then you ended up saying I took an help of YouTube. You can simply say I took the assistance of YouTube. I took the help of YouTube. Right? And again, as I said, all three of you filler. Filler word is like. So you all three of you are brand ambassadors of the word like. You're marketing it to others. You're making others learn this thing. So don't do that. Right? You already know how to do self audit. So just start auditing yourself. Audit means record yourself, listen to yourself. You'll get to hear all these things, the ones that I'm pointing out. All right. By the way, this session was recorded, so you can listen to your own speeches. This will be shared on YouTube, so you can listen to your own conversations. All right. So these were all the questions that I was asked. I think there was one more pending. To answer this question, being relevant in task 2, all you need to make sure is read the question a couple of times and create a blueprint in advance. I think Chirag, you asked this question, right? Being relevant in task 2. So first thing is you should read the question, you should have a blueprint, and the second thing is you should have some idea about the question. If it's a new topic, do not try to force yourself to write something you do not know. Instead, try to read the essays that are shared on the website. On our website, you can simply go to our website and start reading those essays. You already know where to find. Go to the footer section of the Boring Academy, and you should be able to find the entire Cambridge library. Correct. And try to first finish the Cambridge volumes and then move on to the online ones. And yes, along with Cambridge volumes, when you're practicing essays, try to practice recently asked IELTS essays. But when you're reading, when you're just practicing, you can read the ones shared on our website from Cambridge volumes.
Okay.
Right.
So,
And sentence structure in task 1. I think I shared this file with all three of you. 100 graphs or something like that. So do not focus on the introduction and overall. And if you're not able to find that file, just drop me a DM. I'll send it once again. So the file that I've shared, I won't be taking the name of who published it. The introduction is terrible, the overall is terrible, but the body paragraphs are amazing. And I think I personally taught all three of you how to write introductions and overalls. So that shouldn't be an issue for you. But yes, selecting the data for each and every task, it can become a little bit intricate at times. So try to read those.
Sometimes
Yes, Kev.
uh, sometimes I face difficulty in like whenever I writing task two. So
Hmm.
sir, I do repetition of helping verbs
Hmm.
like will, have, is. So sir, like it will be counted or not, sir?
See, for word count, yes, it will be counted. Every single letter that you add will be counted. Even if it is just an article, they will count it as a word. However, if you are misusing it, you will lose bands in grammatical range and accuracy. If the spelling is wrong, your vocabulary will be affected. If it is out of context, your task response or task achievement, depending on the task, that will be affected. If it is an issue of organization, your cohesion and coherence will be affected. So it depends on what type of mistake it is. If it is concerned about the word count, yes, every single word is counted. Even if you write the same word, for instance, how to maintain our flow in speaking. So they will consider flow as one word, the second flow as the second word.
I mean, like it will be counted. Like if I write two, four times, I use is.
They
So
will
sir,
count it.
helping verb is in a repetition of words.
Hmm. So will is fine. You have to use the auxiliary verb, modal auxiliary verb, will, and all these things. That is completely fine. Don't think about that too much. But if it is a vocabulary issue, then they will deduct bans for your vocabs. For instance, if you're using
How
simple
to,
words like going up and going down.
sir? I know only three types of sentence of structure. One is like complex sentence, and one is passive, and one is three type on. Sir. I wanna learn variety of like I wanna learn how variety making variety of sentence structure.
You mentioned complex sentence, then the second thing you mentioned was passive. I think you said passive.
Yes, sir.
And the third one was
Simple.
simple. So simple, complex, and passive. So here's the whole list. Simple, the next level is compound, the next level is complex. After that comes compound complex. And once you master these things, you can start introducing relative clauses. That is restrictive and non-restrictive clauses. Do remind me about these things. We'll address this in the next session. So we'll have a grammar session. So we'll just address sentence types: simple, compound, complex, compound, complex. And if students are able to grasp all these things, we'll move on to relative clauses. That is a little bit advanced. It takes some time. It's not something that I can teach in an hour. It takes a lot of time because there are so many minute things that you need to know. Even for learning just
Yes.
tenses, there are so many ingredients that you need to first understand before you move on to tenses. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. They directly start with tenses. They say subject plus verb plus object. But what if a student does not know V3? What if a student cannot identify subject or object? You cannot learn tenses. It will always sound
Yeah.
confusing. Correct.
Yes,
So
sir.
next week, yes, just remind me. We'll start with sentence structures: simple, compound, complex, and compound complex. And you
Okay,
need
sir.
a range of grammatical grammar so that you can score more in the grammatical range and accuracy.
Yes, sir.
Correct. It's not that
Yes.
complicated, but you need to practice. You need to make 1000 sentences. This is what I'm telling to students nowadays. Try making 1000 sentences with the format that I tell you. This is the structure. Create 1000 sentences, you will become a master.
Yes, sir.
As simple as that. It's not that complicated. How many sentences do you think I have created during the last 3 decades? I'm 28, so 2.8 decades.
Sir,
Lakhs of them.
1 lakh.
More than a lakh, of course, because I do write a lot. So
Oh,
1001 lakh, just to the comparison. The more you practice, the better you get.
yes, sir.
Right? So keep practicing. All right, then we'll keep this session here. I hope that I was able to add some value.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. You add like so value. It was a helpful session, sir.
And thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah.
Shirag, Nikki, any last words? NJ, you're a little bit late. We are about to end the session.
Thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome, dear. All right, then we'll stop the stream. I'll be posting this on YouTube. Just make sure that you watch your own audios, your own answers. You'll get to know what you're doing.
Sir,
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Chalo, Nikki,
hello, sir.
Shirag, Kev, good night.
Sir,
Bye bye, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
NG, anything that you would like to ask before we close this session?
sir, if you have any another vocabulary.com list,
Hmm?
please share me.
Did you finish this entire list?
Yesterday I completed all these
Okay.
things.
I'll send you a new list of words. Just go through them.
Okay, sir.
Right? Chalo. That's it.
Okay.
NG, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything that you would like to ask before we close this session?
No, like I just joined now, so I don't have idea.
Not
I
an
will
issue.
join next time.
Okay. So what we covered is the basics of cue cards. So you'll get to know what cue cards are, how cue cards should be answered, and stuff like that. You'll I've answered a couple of questions. Just go through the video. I'll be publishing it on YouTube soon. Just go through it and you'll get to know to do and what not to. Right? You'll
Okay,
be able
sure.
to hear a couple of speaking answers, so you'll get a perspective of what to do and what not to do. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
Chalo. So, NG, good night. Nikki, good night. And I wish you a happy
It's
Sunday.
Okay, good night.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Most welcome.